The output at that. The meeting owl. Okay, hello, can anyone hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect, finally, oh my gosh, we almost started on time. I don't need this one. Okay, up there. And I hope the Wi-Fi connection holds this time. I was on Xfinity Wi-Fi and it kept going out. So we're trying it this way. We have a lot of people online, we have a lot of people in person.
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Get out.
I'm Chris.
So see what we're doing here. All right. So it is. We're giving everyone 1 minute to get in, then we're starting. We have up to 5 guests. Let me see who has joined. Yeah, we have Clay Pots on. We have is Chris on? I think Chris is on the online. Yes, Chris is here. We have at least 3 out of 5 of our guests accounted for. Nicholas Tupin. Oh, he is here. Nick's taking time out of dance time for his daughter's dance class to join us. So, and then the last one I had on the agenda was Nia and Tiffany Scott.
Is it possible to put it on gallery?
Doesn't? Oh, uh-oh. If anyone else talks, does this change? We have we're just seeing ourselves right now. Can someone say something? Online?
You hear me?
Hello.
Okay, it does switch to whoever's talking. And I guess, well, time to start. I will just announce everyone online when we go to, I'm going to screenshot it for Nancy. So we do have 5 guests and an hour to do it in. So I'm going to just jump right into our guest list here. Welcome to the March meeting of the Mount Clear Community Council. There is an agenda. I'm going to post a link in the chat. I can find my mouse cursor. In person, everyone got an agenda here. We're getting catered from Super Fresh. We have Jason here, right here. Jonathan. Sorry with a J. I'm sorry. We got a selection of awesome fresh food to try. If you want to open, since we're going to be eating, you can speak right at the camera here, and you're on the thing, and you can talk all about how you're redoing the store.
Well then, pleasure. Nice to meet everyone. It's kind of interesting. When I look at this side, I see the double chin, so nobody please comment on that. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me here. My name is Jonathan. I'm the store operator at Professional Market, located right across the street at Mount Clear Junction. And I guess first and foremost, I owe my apologies for taking so long for us to finally introduce ourselves. Thank you for having me today, and I'm really excited to be here. So Professional Market, if you guys might previously know it as Jumbo Fresh. We are a management group that's community over it, and we are a family-owned business. And so our biggest goal and priority since we came in was to make sure that we can deliver clean, accessible food, affordable across every single community that we can service to this area. And that is still been our number 1 mission. We are still trying to lower our costs. We can pass those savings on to the customers here. We have a lot of new things that we have brought into the store, a lot of new things that we have created across the store as well. So we've expanded our produce supply to have a much bigger and much larger, fresher selection of produce. We have worked to increase our meat supply as well, so you can now order custom cuts at our store. We are also still expanding our seafood supply. We still have expanded quite a bit, but there's a lot more we want to bring through. And we are currently underway opening up our hot kitchen and our bakery. We believe in being community first, and so that means that we are really focusing on our local investors. We currently work with the University of Miami Community Assistance Center for their monthly. Sorry, guys. Yeah, where we partner with the University of Miami Communication Center for food giveaway. We provide them produce packs and meal kits. We also work with United Way. As well, we did a pretty large donation with them in December, another one in February. And we currently work with the Let It Help Baptist Church for the food pantry. We are just excited to be in the community, and we just want to introduce ourselves and say thank you for having us. And we really look forward to servicing everyone here. And I guess I'll keep this nice and short. We are still looking for ways to improve and a lot of everything that our customers are taking to heart, and we try to find any costs they want us to have. We try to find ways to reduce costs and make sure everyone can feel like they can afford that everything in our store as well. So all enough to say, thank you for having me. Hope you guys enjoy the food and the snacks, and we're looking forward to Paradise.
Did you plug the free delivery?
Oh, oh my God.
You gotta sell the store, you gotta sell the store.
You know what? I'm actually doing a pretty horrible job. Thanks for me. So, if customers buy say $5 or more, we provide a free delivery service back to places as well. And we are still finding ways to optimize, where we can introduce ways where customers can order online and probably deliver to your doorstep. So we are available on Instacart and we'll be live on DoorDash and Google soon.
Great.
All right.
Very exciting. Does anyone have any questions for Super Fry? I am watching online, so raise your hand if you have a question. All right.
In terms of partnering with like food pantries and stuff, we do have a community fridge and pantry. It's pretty small, but it's like right down the street.
And that is something we would love to partner with. Because we are how we provide back to food. First, we always do the first step in doing that. So please send me over those details. I would love to have that. And then I guess if there's any others for like questions that anyone can ask us online, our store email is prattstreetmarket@gmail.com. It's spelled PRATT Street Market, all spelled out.
Is it full street?
Yes. Okay. At gmail.com. So if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, if there's any projects or you want us to carry, please, you can send an email right to there and we'll work. Thank you.
And I'll say, as someone who lives in the neighborhood, their produce selection is not just the best in our area. I would say it's probably the best in the whole city at a much better price for getting Harris Teeter Whole Foods quality food at prices that fit our neighborhood, because they lowered prices substantially from what they were just a few months ago.
Yeah.
When they took over. But it's it's a high level of fruit that has amazing flavor. We've found ourselves trying a lot more things that we normally didn't do, a lot more mangoes, specialty bananas I've never heard of, like red bananas and these little dwarf ones that are really sweet. It's made where you can experiment and try some new things.
This cantaloupe is perfect.
Woo! Happy to hear. So I guess one quick word about our produce. So our family has our first supermarket started with our produce. It was a really small mom and pop shop at this produce market. And from there, we've only kept on going at that point, and our experience and our expertise sits in produce. So we will always pride ourselves on having really strong produce as a small. And like I said, if there's anything you guys are interested in, we would love to hear about it. So you can find ways to source it locally, and then the best ways that we can try to make sure that you guys always have it when you guys need it, give us a call, let us know. You didn't guys carry this by this or that, they will do our work. We'll do our best work to find it and bring it to us.
Just real quickly, will you have rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, so we are actively working on that right now. We are very, very close, but we will soon start trying to take chicken.
Nick knows there's just a few inspections left to get that going.
Getting there.
He is. Nick's been very helpful.
Okay, any more questions for Super Fresh before we move on? Okay, going once, twice, sold. So I'm gonna go down the list of our signups for our guest list, which starts with Chris Hall of the B&O Railroad Museum. So Chris, you have the floor next.
Great, thank you. Thank you all. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully that works. And I'm going to, I think most of you know that we have a campus renovation taking place. But just to back up a little bit, I do want to say when I was looking at your website for the Montclair Association, I was so pleased to see the Montclair station, which was the very first train station in the country, because we are the birthplace of the American Railroad. This neighborhood, this community is the birthplace, and the railroad, the industry itself, turns 200 years old in 2027. So it was chartered on February 28th, 1827. So that is part of the backdrop of this campus transformation project. So I think, most of you, usually when I show this, I talk a little bit about the current conditions, but most of you all know that. So I'm just going to start through and share this quickly. This is our back parking lot. We're going to be streetscaping it. We're going to be putting our security back here into the back parking lot. The triangle that was here is being removed. The big, huge retaining wall that many people talked about to us was a fortress. I heard that many times when I first started, is down and will be down. It is down now, and it will be replaced by a much more visible sight line. We are going to be, this is our South Car Works building, which almost nobody ever sees because it had that huge retaining wall and you couldn't see it. But that building is the oldest continuously operating railroad repair facility in the country, 1869 to 1990. So we are going to be, each one of these doors here was a bay, and that is where the cars would come in. And as you know, there was fill all the way up to here, and the tracks would come in through these doors. What we are doing is we are digging out, in fact, we've dug out the entire space to make a community amphitheater. So this space here, and you'll see a little bit more of it in this rendering from our architects, will be free for the community use, you know, whether you want to have food truck festivals, movie nights, just meet a friend for lunch. It will be wired for Wi-Fi as well. So it's just a nice, safe, you know, attractive space, and we're going to be landscaping it. We're also going to be putting 2 smart classrooms in this building. So there will be a bus entrance here off of Ramsey, or it can go into the amphitheater. But essentially, this is going to become our new entrance. The Pratt Street will become our back entrance, and the Pratt Street parking lot will become our back parking lot. The parking lot on James and Arlington will become our front parking lot. So this is the new entrance to the B&O Railroad Museum. And when you come into the entrance, because most of you have seen the current one, it doesn't really do much for anybody. Right here is just a placeholder mural, but we are going to be putting our archives on display for the first time. We have over 30 million documents, and they've never been on public display before. We have things like letters from Abraham, you know, President Lincoln to the president of the B&O. We have all the board of directors minutes. We have the very first stock ledger, and you can really see a lot of famous families on there and know where their generational wealth came from. We have employee records. I mean, it's a treasure trove, and it will be on public display for the first time. We're placing the smart classrooms on this floor. They will be adjacent to the archives intentionally, one, so kids can learn, students can learn about railroad history, but 2, they can also learn how to use original source material, which I think is getting harder and harder to learn what original source material is, and they can learn about archival science. We have huge amounts of internships, and we're going to be able to do more when we open with graduate students and college students throughout the year, even with our current space that we have. So this will enable even better. And so this will be where you'll check in. You will go up the stairs, or there'll be an elevator as well. And you will come to the second floor, where there will be a gift shop. Will be sustainable. That's what our architects wanted us to make sure we saw. But this whole building, this second floor, is going to be, it's going to be about 14,000 square feet. And it is going to be an exhibit that is going to focus on the present and future of railroading technology. So the future is safer, faster, more connected, and it is, there is no exhibit that we're aware of in the country that focuses on this technology. And, you know, we only focus on the first 100 years, then the second 100 years. So this exhibit will be very interactive. It's being gamified, showcasing all the technologies, but it's also going to focus on careers in, you know, most people think about railroading careers as just the engineer or the conductor, and those are good jobs actually on the railroad, but there's all the supporting industries, you know, that make the sensors and the signals and the crossings and, you know, all of the support, the railway suppliers, and those are all really great jobs too. But this will be an exhibit, and it will open at the same time the building does. So we're really pleased with this exhibit that's coming into place. So we will also have another room that we're adding in here. It's about a third of the space. Right now, most of you who have been in the B&O know that we have the roundhouse that can be rented that can hold thousands, but it's more of a party space. We also have a small like building that can hold like 100 people or less. We don't have that sweet spot of around 250 to 350. This room will be able to hold that, either for conferences, or it's a beautiful room. You could use it for weddings as well, or whatever there may be. So there'll be, more options of rental space at the museum. And then when you come outside, you'll be able to be on the terrace, again, overlooking the amphitheater that is coming into place. And again, this will all be free space for the community. And so this is how our campus will be reconfigured now. We think it will provide an opportunity to route traffic through Pigtown instead of just, Lombard to Poppleton, and they don't see any retail stores to go into after seeing us or before seeing us. So this project is about 50% done. It is scheduled to be done in November and to open in January. The exhibit itself will open, will be installed in December, so everything should be ready, fingers crossed, by January. So for us, again, you'll start with the present and future. Our North Car Shop is the second 200 years. Then you end up in the Roundhouse, which is the first 100 years of American railroading. And we think this is a nice flow. We could have done it the other way, done it the Roundhouse to the North Car Shop to the South Car Works building. But we thought, what are we doing then if we don't start looking at how we're facing communities? And this is a $38 million investment, and that is huge for our organization. We are a small business. In reality, while our space is quite large, we are, from a financial perspective, not that much bigger than the Southwest Partnership. So fundraising has been going well. We're not quite finished yet, but we feel we have a pathway to get there. So, it's all being done in time for 2027. And, we look forward to celebrating that anniversary with everybody. So that is what you see the construction going on. That is what is occurring. So any questions? Or thank you, Jose. Holland's Market, we briefed them recently, the Holland's Roundhouse, and they were for most people, it's like you look at what's there now, you look at what this is, and it's a dramatic difference, and we know it's a dramatic difference.
In terms of
before it was just back a house railroad.
Oh, in terms of the connection into Mount Clair as a neighborhood, I know when you zoomed out, it didn't quite show that far, but what does that look like?
So right now, it's, it's basically, we're focused on the Arlington Street corridor right now. But the Arlington Street corridor is going to now become, while it's a two-way street, it will really become more of a two-way street because it will be, that's where traffic will be routed. So one of our goals is we're hoping that it opens up more of the neighborhood. So if other areas want to have any type of stores or something along those lines, that they can. Yes.
Did anyone else have any questions?
You said the outdoor amphitheater public space is free. Does that mean those gates will be open during your operating hours that folks can hang out in the amphitheater if they choose not to buy a ticket to enter the museum?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means, is that, people can be there, they can enjoy, a nice sunny day. We're going to have trees and landscaping there. They can, eat lunch. So yes, that's exactly what it means, is that it's a free space. You don't have to buy a ticket. But for anybody who does not know, we are a member of Museums for All. So that essentially means that if anybody is eligible for SNAP benefits and has an EBT card, they can come into the museum essentially for free. It's like $3 for 4 people, but our front desk has always been instructed not to quibble over it. So, we do try to do some access along those lines. And so hopefully more people can learn that we do have the Museums for All program.
That's great. And if say someone like wants to host a free event at that space, is that going to be available? Or if like someone wants to, play with their band or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, it's designed that, to work with us, and, there will be opportunities to do that. I mean, playing a band would need to be scheduled with us, but yeah, that's exactly what it's intended for.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Tom Freeman. Question about how are you expecting the number of visitors to increase with this upgrade?
Well, I don't know if it's so much the upgrade as much as it is, though, hopefully, usually when new exhibits open and new buildings, I mean, it's 33,000 square feet total in that building that will be activated, because the building itself, because it was, 1869, and it was used as a work facility, it was not up to code. So it's just been used for storage all these years. It is under easement, so we've had to maintain it, but it's not ever been open to the public. So we're really activating 33,000 square more feet for the museum. We're anticipating for the 200th anniversary that, this will open in time for it, but that year in general, that our attendance will, double, if not ideally triple. Now, whether it stays at that level, that's a different issue. But, for the year of 2027, we anticipate. And that's something where I think there's opportunities to really look at, how the community can benefit from that as well.
Awesome. Anyone online?
I have a question.
No one? Here we go. Go,
Hey.
Nick.
Chris, you mentioned upgrades on Arlington Avenue, or a focus on Arlington Avenue. I'm sorry for not knowing this already, but the pedestrian access crossing those tracks, is that something that's going to be looked at as well? Because the sidewalk stops and then starts again.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trying to look at that. I mean, we don't own on the other side of it. We own only up to the tracks.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's still being talked about, but that is in the ideal world, that it will, level out a little bit and have a better crossing over the tracks right there at Arlington.
Okay, great. Good to hear.
All right.
You have the crossing into Carroll Park.
That they were talking about the crossing on Arlington Avenue.
Or is that something to bring up right now? Or?
If you want to.
I guess I can. Well, I don't know all the details about it, because I haven't been a part of the community for longer than 4 years. But I've heard that there's been a lot of talk about like connecting Mount Clair with Carroll Park, but that like crossing those railroad tracks from the B&O has been like barrier to that. Do you know if there's like plans around moving that forward anytime?
No, I know it's a point of contention. It always is when you have railroad tracks and then a community, grows over time around them. I will say this just for everybody, it is illegal to cross tracks. It's also unsafe because, you're not going to win against a train and or you're going to be seriously hurt. So, we really take safety very seriously. It is not, FRA. This is a class 2 regulated track. So, it is not an unregulated track. You might think, well, it's just our little passenger train, though it's a train. So it's regulated by the Federal Railroad Administration, and we're considered a class 2. They are the ones who control whether or not crossings go across tracks. And, that is not up to us. Also, CSX would be involved in that decision too. It is a very, you don't see it very often. So I'm not saying never. I'm just saying that it is not something that the B&O, like I could just say tomorrow, you know what, let's work together and make a crossing right there. We do not have that capability to do that. It needs FRA approval. It needs to go through an extensive process. It would need CSX approval as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. And then we got a hand raised from online from Jeff.
Whoops, yeah. I think there's a feeling in the community that Mount Clair is kind of being boxed out by the B&O museum, that it's another barrier. There's a lot of sensitivities in this area about being shut out of economic activity of all sorts of things, but it feels like this is you talk about directing people toward Pigstown, whatever it is, the next door neighbor. But how is this opening up for our community, from our neighbors walking over into that area, or even getting across to the park? I mean, I understand all the complexities for that. But we really are feeling isolated and ignored. That's what I've been hearing in the community is people are feeling really isolated and ignored by your organization.
We have heard, I'll say this, what I've heard over the years is that the B&O has gotten more community friendly. It may not be where you want it, but we view the investment, we view turning our entrance puts us closer to Mount Clair than when we had our entrance off of Pratt, because Pratt Street is one way and it takes everybody out of the neighborhood. They come down Lombard, they Poppleton, they go right back out onto Pratt, and they don't even come into the neighborhood. So we feel like this part at least puts potential retail traffic, opens it up. So, it might not be perfect, but it's better than the current status. And we do hope that Arlington Street, becomes more an area where people want to walk and want to, cross there. I mean, we're open to suggestions. I can't talk about crossing the track because there's nothing I can do about that. That's not within my purview. But, if you have other suggestions of how, changes at the B&O can help Mount Clair, we're more than willing to talk about them.
On that
Thank you.
topic,
I think, sorry,
go ahead.
not to belabor, but just for point of clarification, just so that we're all aware geographically what we're talking about. So I think Mia's question was related to the stable off Calhoun, and Arlington Street is behind the shopping center.
Yes.
I was just so that we're all on the same page of what.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize she was talking about
not
the personal
you.
estate.
Oh,
Right.
sorry. Yes, Mia's question was regarding the stable.
Okay.
Area.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just talking about the entrance. The stable, I think, as most people know, the Baltimore City Mounted Police Unit, they last year did not put in the police budget for the mounted unit. So they have officially disbanded the mounted unit. A couple of years ago, they tried to disband it, but then kept it, and they just put the budget in Parks and Rec. But it was still run and administered by the police, and it was still the mounted unit, and it still was in the stable. But then this last year, they took the budget out. So, which was disappointing. We thought that was disappointing. So they have officially moved out. We have a board committee that is looking at, how we want to repurpose the building. The building will stay. We have, actually a train stop there. The building is a nice building. And we're looking at, potential options, whether they're internal use or external. What I will say is if it is external, like in other words, if we rent it again, it needs to be to an entity that can pay rent and that can maintain the building, that can have, the requisite insurance, anything that you would look at as if you were renting a commercial property. So right now there is no We have no plans, like there is nothing that's been set at all. Our committee just met for the first time. So we're not on a fast pace, but, all options are on the table. So, meeting those requirements, right? So if, you have suggestions, more than happy to hear them, because there is no definitive plan right now other than it will be repurposed, whether it's for our own internal use or for, and again, they have to have, Nick, they have to have the requisite requirements that I just said.
Understood.
Cool.
I don't
Thank you
even
for
know
all
if
the
any
updates.
organization's interested, but I just thought I'd put it out there.
Oh, no, we've heard. They've been lobbying. We've heard.
Okay. All right.
Howard's mentioned them too. So we're excited for something to happen there. Mount Clair would really
Yeah.
love something, not for it to
We
just
would-
be a-
We would love for something to happen there too. So there will be. It's just a matter of what it will be.
Well, thank you, Chris, for coming out. We very much appreciate you making time to present and show us the event, the redevelopment for next year. Hopefully, when we get close to the opening, we'll talk about possibly having a Mount Clair Community Day. We can all go out and see the new museum together,
That
maybe.
would be great. And if you all want to have a Mount Clair community tour, of the building, before it opens, like the construction site, I can't do individuals, but if you wanted to do a group, happy to show you the construction site if that's of interest.
All right. Would anyone be interested in having a group tour of the construction site?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We got at least 4. So
Okay. So Melanie, if you just coordinate with me, like,
we will
what?
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We got 3 more to go, maybe up to 3 more. Tawana Kane of Clay Pots.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tawana Kane. I am the executive director at Clay Pots Baltimore. I've actually worked at Clay Pots since 2017 as the grants and compliance officer. And about a year ago, I became the ED. So if you don't know Clay Pots, I'll just give a quick intro to it. We are a small community-based organization at the corner of Pratt and Mount. We have been operating out of that building for 22 years. We offer adult education and GED. We just had 11 GED graduates about 3 weeks ago in a graduation, which was lovely. We also do wellness services, everything from yoga to auricular acupuncture. We also offer mindfulness meditation and nutrition classes. And then we are also the harm reduction site for this community. So we carry a prescription for Narcan. We do Narcan and harm reduction trainings free to the community. And we distribute anywhere between 60 and 80 doses. And there's 2 Narcans in a dose every month to people in the community and through outreach events. We are having our 100-year-old building renovated. And so I just wanted to make sure that everyone in the Mount Clair community, as Clay Pots is in Mount Clair, knows that that's happening. So I have just a couple slides that I would love to share, and then I'll take questions.
Awesome.
So Clay Pots, here we are at the corner of Pratt and Mount. Let's see. Let's go down this way. Sorry. So we're working with PIKL as our architect. They also renovated the factory, and they've done a lot of other work sort of in the community. I'm going to skip past the floor plans because I think that the identity of Clay Pots is a little bit more interesting than these. Okay. So if you haven't been into Clay Pots lately, basically when you walk into our community space, which also hosts our coffee house. We also share our building for very low cost with a couple of NA meetings that use it on Friday evenings and Sundays. And so the idea here is that we're going to enlarge our community room so that we can go from fitting about 30 people to fitting about 65. We'll install a full kitchen, which we don't have right now. And we will finally have ADA compliant restrooms in the back that are gender neutral. The Peace Garden, which is behind 1635, we own 1635 and 1633. So we have a Peace Garden back there, and that will essentially remain the same. Once you get to our second floor, it's our education floor. Right now, we have 2 rooms with closing doors at Clay Potts, and those rooms become acupuncture rooms in the evening, mindfulness rooms in the evening, and during the day, we have anywhere between 15 and 30 GED students coming in for computer literacy and classes. So this will allow us to have a place-based education room that seats 27 people, and we'll also maintain our computer lab at 10 seats. There's also some flex space here for GED exam taking. We've been hosting people to actually take all of their exams in the past 6 months or so. So we will also have a space with closed doors where people can take those exams. Our third floor, which is completely unfinished right now, will become our wellness space. So we'll have a nice rubberized floor there for yoga classes. We can use it for dance classes. We'll also have our auricular acupuncture upstairs. And then we'll also bring in some massage therapists on a monthly basis, and they will be housed upstairs as well. We'll have some additional meeting space on the third floor. This is just a side view of what this will all look like. So right now, our primary entrance is on Pratt Street. We're going to move our primary entrance because it's ADA compliant to Mount Street, and we'll still use Pratt Street for larger events. So we'll have sort of a reception area right there. If you look here, you also see a little bit of our basement. We don't have a lot of room down there to do much, but we will clean it up. And then put a washer and dryer down there so that we can get our linens cleaned instead of at staff members' homes. And these are just some more images of sort of the warm, open, welcoming space that people will see. This is our community room. This will be our new reception area. And we're not doing much with the exterior of the building. We are working with the our CHAP representative, our architects are, to make sure that we are compliant there. So what we're just going to essentially touch up the front a little bit, reintroducing some wood windows in the storefront, repairing existing windows. We would like to put a mural up on that wall, and of course, we'll go through the community before we do that. And then removing places where there's glass block and just filling it in with a regular windowed space. And that is what I have there. I don't know if anyone knows, but Clay Potts has actually grown enormously from Dwayne and I being there in 2015 before with 2 part-time staff to having 6 full-time staff. We now have 3 part-time staff and about 12 contractors. So we've grown enormously. We definitely just need more space for all the activities and programs that we offer, and then also some dedicated office space for our staff so that we can continue to do the work in and for the community. That's what I would like to share. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't have
Any
a
from the
question,
room?
but I was going to mention to you, Tawana, we have a workforce development program that we do with CCBC in the areas of construction, rail, jobs, and facilities maintenance. And I will make sure you might be an opportunity to partner with some of your people taking the GED classes if they're looking for a workforce program. So this next one's just been recruited for, but they're 6-month-long programs, and people get paid $15 an hour while it's kind of a work and earn and learn, type program, and then they get jobs, with the rail companies or Whiting Turner or some of the, MEP companies. So, the goal is to get family wage living jobs.
Hey,
Great,
Chris,
that's amazing. We do have MOED. They come into our building twice a month and do some workforce with our GED students. So that would be a great compliment. Thanks, Chris.
Chris, this is Jose. Could you drop some of that information in the chat, like a point of contact for the next cohort?
Yeah, well, I may not be able to put it into the chat right now because I gotta look at it, but I will get it to you.
Great, thank you.
Can I share your email, Chris?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Thank you.
Do you have any questions in the room for Tawana?
It's just great to hear Clay Potts getting that investment. That's amazing.
I was going to
We're
mention
still raising money, but thank you.
I want to make sure you know that the project is likely eligible for a CHAP tax credit. And so I'll put in the chat a link for you to make sure that you get an application in for that.
Great. Thank you so much, Nicholas.
Well, Clay Pot shouldn't be paying property tax because they're a nonprofit, right? My understanding.
I don't know. Don't know who owns the building.
Okay, still good info to have. Anyone in the CHAP district, there's a tax credit.
Okay, thanks, Melanie. I will look into it.
You want to mention Community Day?
I sure do. So May 30th, we have our annual Community Day. It'll be the 4th year we've done that. So we'll have some activities for children. We'll be grilling that day. We'll have lots of community vendors and many of our partners, including Grace Medical. Usually the Department of Transportation shows up, and a few other community-based organizations. Last year we had 300 people come through for Community Day, so we're looking at numbers similar to that. And we welcome everyone to come out for that event. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I'll drop a flyer, an unapproved flyer, into the chat so that people can see that and share it. Thanks.
Exclusive insight in first viewing for the Mount Clair Community Council. And we did just send in a letter to close Mountain Pratt Street for that day, so hopefully we're not gonna have a bunch of high-speed car traffic getting in the way.
Wonderful.
Awesome sauce. Any more questions or are we moving on? Going on?
I'll say one thing. Hey, Nick, with what you said, if Melanie's right, which I think she is on that, they still might be eligible at MHC for getting a 20% deduction on anything they spend that would fit in the same thing. And PIKL should be very familiar with that since Kupal sits on the CHAP board. But you might ask them about the MHC tax credit that is not property tax related. It's just with what you spend on the construction, you get 20% back.
That's great. And we do partner with Episcopal Housing, so they're our development partner in this. And Shannon Snow has been guiding us through that process. So I will definitely ask her about that. Thanks, Beth.
You might also want to ask about new market tax credits. You know, they're federal and they go through like Harbor Bank and others. It's a hellacious process, but you can get some funding from it. And they're designed, you know, for organizations like ours.
Cool. Anything else? Moving on, going once, twice, sold. So I had Mia and Tiffany Scott from the Maryland Peer Advisory Council on, and I think Jose, you invited them. Are they on? Do you know Jose?
I do not see them.
All right, then. I guess we are going to have to ask them to come back at another time. And then, so next up on the list would be Nick. If you want to have a word about how you're doing, what's up? Our district planner.
My name's Nick Shupin. I know many of you, but for those I don't know, I'm the community planner with the Baltimore City Department of Planning for Mount Clair and the rest of the Southwest area. I don't have any particular project to sell or to discuss today, or any particular land use change, but I do like to check in with all the communities in my area from time to time. I like to get updates on big projects like the B&O Museum and smaller projects like Clay Pots. So just trying to get an idea of what you're all talking about. And then I'll say I'm going to put my contact information in the chat, and I have a newsletter that I put out every month, sometimes twice a month, and I will put a link so you can sign up to that if you're interested. It's a lot of just general city information, local information. Hopefully it's helpful for folks, and you can either just give me your contact information or you can sign up at the link that I provide, and that's about it.
And it will be in the minutes as well. And I definitely get a lot out of that newsletter. So thank you for making it.
If there are any questions about planning or land use, feel free to send them my way.
Are there any updates on like the Tracy Atkins park plan stuff?
So, Tracy Atkins is a BCRP project. As you probably all know, they did some visioning work. I think it was 2 summers ago. The city does annually a 6-year capital improvement program. We call it the CIP, and that is how money gets spent over the next 6 years. The first year, so right now we're getting ready to pass the fiscal year 27 budget. That'll go to city council and get adopted then. There's not money in fiscal year 27, but in the out years, which is sort of planning ahead for future years, there is some funding available for Tracy Atkins Park improvements. I don't know off the top of my head what that dollar amount is or what it's meant to be used for, but I think it's meant to be for fiscal year 28. So there should be some additional investment coming that way in the next couple of years.
Is there anything they should do to help advocate to make sure that doesn't continue to get pushed out?
Yeah, I would talk to your councilman and make sure he knows that that's a priority. I would also, if you know people who work for BCRP or talk to any of the people who came out to do the visioning process with you all, make sure they know it's a priority. That those conversations actually do make a difference. And I keep an eye on all these projects, these investment projects for capital projects as well. So anything that's in the Southwest, I'm keeping an eye on, making sure that it's not getting lost.
Erica Wilson is here online. She is from Dr. Bullock's office. Would anyone like to give a word of, we would like to see this park, the improvements to Tracy Atkins?
We would like to see the improvements to Tracy Atkins.
Absolutely, I've been waiting 15.
Ned's been waiting 15 years. Let's see it.
I'm especially excited with the visioning. They talked about having like a walking path, and there have been so many times I've gone for walks and I'm like, oh man, I would go to Tracy Atkins right now if there was like a distinctive walking path there.
Absolutely.
Did you get that, Erica?
We'll certainly take this back to the councilman.
Awesome, thank you.
I also think that's one of our, like, if that's better, I think that elevates our community. So I think it is vitally important for us to get that Tracy Atkins going. Just thinking about our neighborhood geographically, if that's doing well, I think that's one way we can kind of improve Montclair and, the livability and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. We want Tracy Atkins to get better. We'll have to eventually talk to CSX about trying to get into the Carroll Park because that's an even bigger park. We would love to have better access to. Lots of things coming down the pipeline there. Any more questions for Nick? Anyone else? Nick takes anything. It's not just about the park. He's a fantastic resource for all of us. So if you have any concerns on anything, you can let him know, and he finds me people all over the city to get me on the right track of all kinds of things. So Nick's been very good to us. All right, going once.
Sorry,
twice,
one last thing.
sold. Go.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Nick.
Go ahead.
Any updates on the junction, like in terms of upgrades that are happening there or whatever project that was happening?
Yeah, so Montclair Junction, the shopping center, there were some conversations, as many of you may know, last year about potential future development that would happen there. This is a very long range. It's going to be a long process to actually do a development project there. And frankly, the market's not good for like new construction right now for residential commercial construction. So I would say we're looking at a pretty long timeline, but we're still talking to the development team. We haven't seen updated plans yet, but I know that they're still thinking about it. They're still working on it, and that we'll have additional community engagement, hopefully in the near future, as they start to put together what that plan will be. So it's kind of a non-answer, but it's still in the works.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Biff in the room. Can you tell us a little bit about the junction?
Yeah, I'll say, so Nick said exactly right. It is a long-term visioning plan we're working on, because a lot of it is also going to depend on how things are going, specifically with Superfresh over next year, because there's several places that are watching the success of the grocery store determine about coming in. Depending on how that works, it would change how the layout would happen. The first part was working with Nick and with the communities around to kind of change the PUD to allow us to go up higher and to build out some other spatial concepts. I think in April, there's planned to be a meeting with the community presidents over the area around to get some feedback, and then to use that to start drafting some more designs. But for what you're asking, yeah, there's nothing that's going to happen immediately surprising you. It's more trying to figure out where we're going over the next couple of years, much like Chris was saying they did at the B&O when we followed this. It's the initial planning, and of course we're also going to be kind of looking at how we can help with the Arlington corridor on the back side, as well as the Cary Street entrance on the front side too, to open the shopping center up more.
Well, I know Megan is here and very adamant about improvements on Cary Street, so I hope there's some collaboration there.
Yes, we have talked with the owners of the plaza to see potentially, right? This is nothing's been confirmed, but potentially partner to renovate the Cary Street garages and give them a facelift. But those have been like really preliminary conversations. So when there is an update, I'll get over for you guys.
Awesome. And I guess a general question I would have is, since we have Nick and we have Superfresh and you here, is Carlisle currently taking new tenants in the shopping center? Like, are they actively trying to fill empty spaces, or are they trying to hold what they have because they don't know what the future is?
Oh no, we're actively trying to get you.
Okay. Awesome. Get down. Anyone else have any questions? I guess I was still on the next topic, so. But anything about the junction, I guess, if that's the subject? Nothing online? All right, going once.
Feel free to reach out. My contact information is there for you.
Awesome, we have that. I don't think anyone else had a question. So that is all of our guests. We have 5 minutes left in the hour, so we get to move on to other things. So I handed out an agenda. I linked it in the chat. I'm going to link it one more time in the chat. And so we had a bunch of things on here. I asked that everyone reads these over because I would like to have some little informed rather than me just paralleling on for 5 minutes. Important things. We went through one request from anyone on anything that hasn't been solved to your satisfaction, especially vacant property, especially dumping. We have a lot we're working on to try to improve all this. We need everyone's like testimony, reports, photos, everything. Give it to me, please. We're trying to put this all together, which we've got a lot of momentum. We have 2 grants coming up next month that I really would like to put in for. I know it's Protecting Against Hate Crimes is one. Viv introduced me to this one. We're primarily probably going to do this one for alligating. But we are open to suggestions. If anyone has anything else they think is more pertinent use of $50,000 possible dollars, please let me know. The other one is the Black Philanthropy Circle. Obviously, this would be asked for our Black residents. If anyone has anything you want that would fit in a $25,000 grant, it's really open-ended. So please email me, and I will love to help you or I'll do the grant application myself. You just have to tell me what you want. And I would love to put in for that. And that could be anything from greening, safety, all kinds of stuff. So you name it, we could probably make it happen. So those are next month's grants. There's a bunch of programs open. If you go to the agenda online, there are flyers for like 20 different things. We have a calendar of events that's like 30 articles deep. It's on the back of this agenda I handed out here if anyone wants to see it. And then I'm going to just wrap up there because it's all written down. So if you want to see any of this stuff, go look at it right now or later. And we'll open the floor to everyone. Any unexpected guests that we had? Did we have anyone show up? Erica, is there anything from the councilman's office?
Nothing really out of the councilman's office. I would ask that if you guys have any plans for the community cleanup, if you guys could send me, because we do try to pop around to as many communities as we can get to on the community cleanup day. So if you guys have any plans, your start times, your meeting locations, if you can forward that to me for the community cleanup happening, I think it's April 25th of this year.
Yeah, that's the mayor's cleanup day. We're also having a community dumpster from DPW next Wednesday.
Okay.
Vincent Street, Clean Corp is going to be out to help with that. Bring out your trash. This Wednesday, next Wednesday, on the 25th of this month. From at least 8 to 12, and I'm hoping to be able to keep it a little bit longer, but it might get filled up again. Last year, we filled it up in like 2 hours. So, you know, if we fill up that dumpster too quick, it's going to be gone. So come get it while it's hot. Other guests didn't sign up. Tommy Phillips, do you have anything from the mayor's office? And he may not be listening in. And I think that is all of our guests. Okay, cool.
Passing around is flyers for the community farm work days, which are coming up April 4th and 11th. You can take extras of these if you want to use them to invite your neighbors.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you all get the this is Eric again. I'm sorry. Did you all get the invitation for the BG&E Community Resource Fair that's happening with Councilman Bullock on April the 9th? I sent it to the email address.
Yes, it is on the events list. Everyone can
Perfect.
confirm
Okay.
that.
Perfect. Thank you.
We have that on the agenda. So that is on the 9th. If anyone wants to go out. You know, everyone's got problems with, BG is gonna be there. And everyone has something to talk to BG about. Okay, so then I think that's all of our unexpected guests. And I guess it's open forum then. Anyone have anything to talk about?
Yeah, I have an update for you.
No.
It's good, everybody. My name is Louis Stephen III. I'm with Black Gill Institute, the Marketplace Organizer of Engagement. I want to share on April 11th, literally right across the way, the farm right here. We're having a farm volunteer day, so we're working on raised beds and laying tarp. I want to connect with who just passed out these flyers over here?
Mia.
Yes, Mia. I want to connect with you because we're also on the 11th. See if we can do something earlier that day. We're from 9 to 12, so right before. So we'll talk about it.
Makes
Everyone is welcome to come, and I'll send the flyer digitally to be sent out. Please.
And I'd love to coordinate with you both as well, talking to Mia about possibly also like taking care of that Cary Street corridor, cleaning that up on one of these community days. So work with you all and see what we can do in this little area. All right. Do it.
Awesome. Good to see you here. Anyone else have anything to add? Any hands online? Going once? Nancy.
I know it's early, but Mother's Day. I have everything lined up as far as gifts, flowers from Nativity Church, and from the council. I would like to have, as usual, the chips and the sodas.
All right. I don't think anyone's going to dissent to doing that, so looking forward to it. I'll hopefully be out. I don't know my work schedule yet from that week, but I know I'm going to try and make it out again with Wilson. He gets the crowds.
He does.
So that's on Mother's Day. Plan ahead, come get your free gifts.
Yep, by the monument.
Jose's hand is up online.
Yeah, I just wanted to update everyone with the Care Lot grant. I put that application in, and we should be getting an award letter soon. It's typically about $8,000 for the grow season to cut 35 vacant lots twice a month, from April to September.
Okay, so then are they active right now? Is Carolot currently like actively cleaning the lots, or are they not started yet?
No, it hasn't began yet. I'm still waiting on the award letter.
Okay, well then I can definitively say thank you so much, Clean Corps. They cleaned up the corner park at Gilmore and Pratt Street. There was so much dumping on it, and it's all gone. So I sent out the note to both, and if it's set, so if they're not, if Carolot's not running, then it was Clean Corps that cleaned it. So, and they'll be out on Wednesday to help clean up all of our as much as we can during the dumpster day. So
wonderful.
And they're funded for the year, so they're going to be around for the rest. We're going to have them out as every dumpster day we possibly can this year. And reminder, send any dumping trash you see, trash@mountclair.net is the email. Send photos, send SRs on 311. It goes directly to Clean Corps, and they almost always get it done within a week, usually within a day or two. So they are here, they pick it up, it works. It's been working for a year now. We're so grateful they came to our neighborhood last year, and we hope to keep them around for a very long time. Tom sent over the treasurer's report before this meeting. It will be in the minutes, so I don't think we have to go over that specifically right now. The meeting is also, I put a disclaimer on top of the flyer. When you join the Zoom, it said this meeting is recorded. We are now storing and sharing the recordings of these meetings in the minutes on the website. So if you ever go read a historic meeting you missed, if we have a recording available, it is going to be in there and you can watch the whole thing or listen to it like a podcast. So that is now an option we have.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
You remember when we had that walkway to the monument
Mhm.
and there was those beautiful hibiscus plants on each side?
Yes.
Somebody tore them out. They're not there. I noticed that the other day. So I don't know if you want to have.
Yeah, they got taken out by the contractor that we hired to replace all those plants. Yeah.
Out of the monument area?
Yeah, they tore those out too.
Oh, golly, that was a shame. They were beautiful.
They were.
I knew if they would have done that, I would have taken them.
Nancy, FYI, they'll be replaced. We're
We're
going to
trying to get
replace them
some
with the same flowers.
Yep. Okay.
Awesome. I guess on the topic of planners, one thing that came up in conversation that I would love to run by the council is we got approached from Black Cat Bakery. I don't plan that or a diligent effort to buy planners, four of which are under. Black Cat has now approached us to buy them. Jose expressed that he wants to instead place them in the neighborhood. So I would like to run by Jose. Can you talk about it? What your plans are for them?
So they were purchased, initially they were supposed to be going on the South Cary corridor. Now the two that are in the shopping center, for whatever reason, they don't have a level base and they rock a little bit. So I was fearful that, the kids are going to climb inside them and fall and knock them over and, injure themselves. So the plan is to still install them, I just need some assistance with logistics because they're pretty heavy getting one out. There's one that's going over by Pratt and another one going over by Ramsey Street by the tow truck company.
Is there anyone able to help with that?
Well, we need, it's more than manpower. We need like some kind of heavy lifting machine, like the Thomas Hass from Union Square assisted us in moving them previously, because so I'll reach out to him, but I think that the machine is down or something.
Yeah, we're working to get it repaired. When we get it repaired, we'll be glad to help again.
Thank you.
I think Clean Floor has one too, if you're doing it beforehand, but hopefully we will soon have the money to repair the skid steer.
Reach out to Clean Core then. Thank you.
We will have to talk to Clean Core. Thank you, Beth. Okay, so if we can get that lifting machine. So are there bases that exist for the planners that just aren't on them, or what do we need to do there?
No, we have the spaces already, marked out. They just never got placed out because, like I said, they're not made right. They're a little rocky, and we need to mitigate that as well. So I've been getting feedback from putting them in cement or something like that, so they can, to make up for the rockiness or whatever. But we'll see.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell Black Cat that we're gonna have to put that on hold, possibly. And hopefully we can figure out another way to get them actually put into use where they were intended in the first place.
Also important for her to know the rockiness is a factor.
Well, it sounds like we're not gonna be offering them for sale now.
Yeah.
So I'll just let her know that we're gonna actually put them back on Cary Street, and I didn't know the history of why, but Jose just said it, so we can try to fix it and put them where they were supposed to be in the first place. Okay, anyone else? Me and Daniel are leaving, and that's good. Oh.
So I insist on taking my minute, all right, as the treasurer.
Do it.
All right, so as of the last meeting, the beginning balance was $12,208.85. Since that time, we've had two deposits to come in. One was for $160. That was the bingo fundraiser, thanks to Nancy, and a $500 donation from Mel for the food, towards the food we got tonight. So it's a total of $800, which brings the ending balance as of today of $13,008.85.
I want to note Superflex donated the food. They did not get paid a cent for this. Thank you so much for the food. But that is for our pizzas that we usually get. Because we do pay out of pocket for the pizza when we get Disney meats. But Superfresh brought us the food out of their own generosity.
And I will say, if you enjoyed it,
Good did.
we want to do something you can get every day at the deli. It's not just groceries. You can pick up things to eat there.
Oh yeah, those turkey sandwiches were fantastic.
They sure were.
And the fruit was really good.
Everyone online, you missed out. We may not have this quality of fresh produce available next month, but we will at worst have pizza. And I think that is it. No one online? Going once, twice, and sold, and we are done with just a little bit over an hour. Perfect. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. And we'll have probably a long list of guests again next month. Hopefully a few less. We'll have more time for announcements, more social. Like I still wanna we have a lot we want to talk about between neighbors that isn't just having presenting guests all the time, but I'm glad we got as many as we did this time. We got to hear some updates. I don't think Chris has been out for a couple of years, so there you go. Thank you all for coming and have a great evening.
Thank you.
And then also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Looks like they're having some technical difficulties.
I was wondering because I was thinking I don't hear any of them, and I thought, is it me?
Mhm.
It's a crazy week for weather.
Isn't it?
I mean, hot, cold, hot. I'm hoping next week it settles down.
I know yesterday was so warm that I wanted to turn on the air conditioner because it was just uncomfortable at night. And today it's dropped down on 30 degrees.
I know. Well, for me, it's more like when do I plant? Every year I buy plants. Every year I somehow kill them one way or another. And this year I'm like, I bought them too early.
Typically, the rule of thumb is like after Mother's Day in May. That's when everything should be
Yes.
good.
Well, then you know what? They shouldn't put them out. Like I went to the Home Depot, they were everywhere. I was
Yeah.
probably the only one buying them, So no, I didn't grow up gardening, so it's not intuitive to me. And I continually kill more than I
Join the club. Hey everyone, we should be getting started soon. I believe that they're having some technical difficulties over at the Faith Center.
Hi, Nicole. Did we meet at the GBC the one day?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. It's nice to
I'm a
see you.
right. Yes. I'm a resident of Montclair.
I remembered, when I saw
Okay,
your
yes.
name, I thought, I remember her telling me that. I was assuming it had to be the same Nicole, but then,
Yeah. I thought I'd be there. Well, your own thing too, but still caught up at work, so